There's this, Senator John McCain had this quote the other day, which I'm just quoting because he said it, but a lot of people I feel like have this feeling that, everybody's such a Manning fan, that loudmouth from Seattle sort of epitomizes the Seattle team to me. Do you feel like the story that's getting built in the run-up to the game is, like, Peyton Manning is the hero and Richard Sherman is the villain, right? Like, it's like, that's the good guy and that's the bad guy. You're the bad guy.
I don't see it that way. I mean, maybe in his circle, but I'm sure he's said worse than that. And I think I try not to judge people off what they say or what they do. You know, his opinion is what it is, and he's entitled to it. But I don't think it's good guys versus bad guys, because we have way too many good guys on our team. You got Russell Wilson versus Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
And I think anytime you label Russell Wilson a villain, you're wrong. You're definitely wrong. Anytime if he's the leader of the villains, what are you really saying? And I think that people are just trying to pass judgment, trying to make themselves comfortable with the situation, and make themselves understand that, oh, this guy's the bad guy. I can just close that story, and they don't want to sit there and go and do research, because if you did the research and you looked and you tried to figure out what I did off the field, you figure out I'm trying to do as much as I can to make the world a better place, as much as I can to help as many people as I can, and that my teammates love me because I'm not a selfish player. I'm not a selfish person. I'm not a me guy. I'm a total team guy, and it got caught up in a moment, and I'm sure he's gotten caught up in a moment before. But I mean, if everybody labeled him off of a soundbite, then I'm sure everybody have a different view of him.
In terms of Senator John McCain, it's true. Actually, he has gotten caught up in the moment. Do you watch Kendrick Lamar last night? I didn't get a chance to. I was watching the Pro Bowl. But he is you and he are Compton's most famous right now.
Compton's finest right now. Yeah, he's a great talent.
The Richie Incognito situation. Someone was on my show the other night. We were talking about what went on, people's reaction to the use of this word thug. Do you feel like? I'm just curious what you thought of the fallout of that situation. Here's someone who was identified as, in some ways, as kind of a villain also. It seemed to me like what he did behaviorally was much more objectionable than being caught up in the moment. But how did you respond to that?
Objectively, I mean, like I said, I try not to pass judgment on anybody. And I know Moose Martin, Jonathan Martin. He went to Stanford with me, and of course, I'm not going to judge the guy. I understand Jonathan's character and who he is as a person, and have talked to him about the situation, and it just seems like it was blown out of proportion. There might have been disagreements, but I'm one of those people who sits back and lets the situation play out, and then let it be who it is. If he did it, he was wrong for doing it. If he didn't do it, whatever happened, somebody was wrong. But you can't pass judgment if you don't know, if you weren't there.
But I feel like you're someone who uniquely has gone through a life in which you've been in these deep subcultures, whether it's in Stanford or whether it's a football locker room, that have their own rules, and sometimes those rules are frankly messed up. Sometimes they're the rules that get people through the day doing something very difficult, and you've kind of had to adapt yourself in those different situations.
Yeah, I've kind of had to be a chameleon of sorts, because you drive from Compton to Stanford and have to change. You have to be able to flip the switch. You can't. The culture is too different to treat them both the same, and I think it's not right to treat them both the same. But I see what you're saying. I understand the culture. I understand the way a locker room is built, the way a locker room interacts with one another, and how it's really a family environment. And they were saying they were like brothers and things like that, and I can understand that as well. I can understand. Within the locker room, you feel like the closest guys to you. In our DB corps, we call ourselves the Legion of Boom.
Yeah.
And the Cam Chancellor, the Earl
Everyone was
Thomas.
Googling LOB the other day.
Somebody said I was talking about a gang, and I was like, LOB, Legion of Boom. That doesn't make sense to anybody.
All right. So, final question is Peyton going to throw to anyone that you are on?
I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will. He's indiscriminate with who gets the ball and where he passes it. Wherever he catches his rhythm, he attacks what he feels like is a weakness of the defense. So I'm sure he'll come my way. I'm sure he'll come Earl's way. I'm sure he'll move the ball and get it to multiple receivers. It'll be a fun game.
All right, man. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.